Hello Twin Flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your energy read. We'll dive straight into the reading. I'm recording this a little bit in advance because I'm off on a business trip. As I mentioned, I will be out of the regular personal reading rotation for a couple of days, but then I'll be back on Friday, I would say. And so if you're gonna contact me about personal readings, today, tomorrow, whichever day you're watching. If it's before Friday, just don't be surprised if I don't respond right away, but I will as soon as I can. All right, so we will begin with a quick, this is going to be our regular spread for the feminine and the masculine collective. I just did a reading for divine masculines, the deep dive, and for cross watchers, of course, just a couple of days ago. So please check that out on the channel. But now we're gonna do our regular check-in for both counterparts. So without further ado, let's get it started. If you are new, please subscribe to the channel and of course read the description box for more information about me and my services. And for all of you, please don't forget to like the video. All right, so for the feminines we got, and these are affirmations. This is the Spirit Junkie Oracle. I will have a different deck later in the week, but for now, this is the one that I packed for my trip, so this is what we're going with. But honestly, I haven't used it in months, so I feel like even though I've been pulling cards from it pretty much every day at this point, for the last few days, it still feels so fresh and so great. I'm finding cards that I've never actually seen, or maybe it's just my memory. I don't remember anymore because I've had this deck for a few years. And it's been magical, so I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys do as well. Divine Feminine, you are a light worker in disguise. You don't have to talk about it. You can just be it. And honestly, I'm pretty sure we had this card the last time I did Twin Flame reading. So I won't spend too much time on it because I don't want this reading to get long, but the main point of it, I'm getting that this is still relevant. The main point is that you don't necessarily need to do a lot of stuff or to feel like you need to learn or have many years of experience as a light worker to be really making real impact in the world, whatever that area is for you specifically. It is like one of the main ideas behind light work and light workers is that we bring that light with our presence. And so the work that you're doing on yourself, as well as you being in your best energy, and spreading the joy, the high vibration, is doing that, is creating that impact. And of course, that then extrapolates to the things that you say, that you do, how you express yourself artistically, and all that stuff. So it may not seem light work at the first glance, but it definitely is. All right. And then for the masculines, we have, I cherish every cell in my body. I like this. There are quite a few cards here about the body and the connection, like the mind, body, soul connection. It's important to pay attention to your health at this point, to understand that your body has its own consciousness, that you need to build a relationship with your body. Think about that for a moment, divine masculines. All right, I will use the Muse Tarot as the main deck today. And then I'll use the Lightseer Tarot as clarifiers. By the way, all the February horoscopes are out on my channel, so feel free to go either to the playlist of February or just find them in the feed below with the list of readings. It will be pretty easy to find because I just finished a couple of days ago. The Chariot at the bottom of the deck. So this is a big milestone moment. We just had the eclipse, the Lunar New Year celebration is started. The eclipse season has started too, so it's not like, okay, we're done with it, it's over. The energy of eclipses is actually said to be relevant for 3 months before the event and 3 months after. Think how huge that is. But even if you're not into like this kind of like big periods of time and it's hard to keep track of it, right? I get it. The eclipse season itself, like this gateway, is 2 weeks long. So we are in it officially. Congratulations. and it helps us really set ourselves for success in this new season of life. All right, the clarifiers. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, really clarifying where are we going, what do we want. For a lot of people, it will be kind of like the old life and the new life, or there will be two opportunities, even two people that will come up at the same time, and you'll have that difficult choice to make. And that will help you define what really matters to you. I love this. So for the feminines, your energy right now is the Wheel of Fortune, and Page of Cups. Yeah. So it's like that, it's definitely the space of trust. And we saw that it was the Lunar New Year reading, by the way. It's the space where you understand that really anything is possible. Maybe your rational brain doesn't know it yet, but you're making a conscious decision to believe it, right? Do not dismiss any of your dreams, any of your wants and needs, any of your fantasies just because it seems unrealistic, right? It's that card with the flying pigs, you know. So it's like you don't necessarily need to know how it's gonna happen or when or with who, like the details, right? It's important at this point. It's important to believe it. Otherwise, it's not gonna happen. For masculines, your energy is the Hermit, clarified by King of Pentacles. So masculines are strategizing on what kind of next step they want to take in life, and for a lot of them it will be in the professional space, in the workspace, but for others it's just general, like, you know, maybe they've already accomplished themselves to a certain degree, they've built certain abundance, and now it's like, do I invest it, do I, you know, buy a house, propose to my girlfriend, start a family, or do I travel the world while I have the time and the freedom, right? It's this kind of revelation with themselves. Like, how do I do this? What is this next phase looking like for me? This next season of my life. Very interesting. And there's a certain synchronicity between the energy of the feminine and the masculine collective. The additional question for today is Six of Emotions, clarified by the Devil. Wow, that's so interesting. It's the inner child trauma, really. That's the name of the game. And it's like, how do we supposed to bring that connection to the present moment? How are we supposed to work, or how can we work with inner child trauma in this moment right now? For divine feminines, we have the Hierophant and the Tower. Look at this major arcana swap. Basically, the response is you don't need to do anything. You'll be guided, right? Don't be surprised if, you know, certain aspects of your life where you thought you were very stable or they were very solid or you had a very good understanding on how to do that part of your life, suddenly it will go away like that. And you won't be able to. Maybe, I don't know, let's say you've established yourself in your local community. You have your places, your friends, you know the weather and how to deal with it, you know the, I don't know, legislation, right? Like you feel very comfortable and you're like, this is actually pretty easy for me at this point, so I want to direct my energy and my focus into something else, right? But then the universe is like, you're not gonna stay in this community. Now you've got circumstances that take you to a completely different part of the country, or maybe even a different part of the world. And so where you felt like you had that comfort, that foundation that doesn't need a lot of attention, suddenly it becomes the focus because you need to basically start from scratch. But there will also be guidance with the Hierophant here. So you won't need to reinvent the wheel. There will be, whether it's a teacher or a book or, you know, some kind of teaching that will come into your reality, right? That will be able to prompt you what is the next step or how do you deal with these new circumstances. For masculine, Wow, Queen of Emotions and Four of Wands. Yeah, so you need to repair your relationship with the feminine energy, divine masculines. That's how you work with that inner child. For a lot of us, of course, the first thing that comes to us, or the first role that comes to mind when we say this, is the mother role. But it doesn't have to be. It could be grandma, aunt, sister, even a teacher, a feminine teacher, right? But somebody who somehow set a precedent or created a template in your mind about what feminine energy is about, or how women, let's say for the sake of this conversation, let's say women, but it's about energy, not gender. How do women behave? How do women succeed in life? What are the hardships of women? How they manipulate men, right? Like, there's definitely something there that's unhealthy, that is not really like the way to go. It's not, it doesn't really reflect the truth, but you've created that knowledge in your head based on what you witnessed or what you got used to. And now it's important to bring it back to the surface and see how things can actually be very different with integrated feminine energy, right? And how things can be very different with your feminine, right? We have the twin flame union here, the card with the Four of Wands, right? Like, and I'm also hearing that masculine thinking, but when I'm with my feminine, I don't feel that way. Like, I don't feel constricted, I don't feel suffocated, I don't feel limited, I don't feel betrayed. Or is this just a lie? Or is this another manipulation, right? And the answer is it's not, but you need to learn more about the integrated feminine behavior, what it looks like, and possibly have a healthy relationship with the feminine energy to reset that template for yourself. And also look at any trauma that still stands from childhood with the feminines in your life, and see how you can release that into the wild, and have closure on those specific scenarios, the words that were said, the punishments, um, whatever the painful experiences, leave them in the past. How does the feminine see the connection at this time? We have Nine of Inspiration and the Moon. So the full moon is actually 2 weeks away from us, but generally the moon is about feelings and emotions, right? And being really in your feels. And with Night of Inspiration, it's like there is a level of physical attraction and even like a strong pull towards the masculine and being together. And deep down, you know that they want the same, and there's a good chance if you somehow seduce them or have that right conversation, that it's gonna happen, right? Like, it's an easier layer to master. But it's also emotional intimacy, where you know that you're going through something, your masculine has a lot to work through too, and it's just not at the level that you want, right? But it could be and it should be. And the dilemma is like, do I wait for that emotional intimacy to reset and to balance before we go further with the physical stuff? Or it's not that, it's not a direct dependence. And only you can answer that for yourself, by the way, for your situation. How do masculines see the connection this time? Five of Emotions and Knight of Pentacles. They see feminines grieving from their past painful experiences with the masculine. They see that synchronicity, but this is something more specific. It's from adult life, whether it's from the way this divine masculine have lied, have hurt the feelings, or it could be from another masculine, but it's more adult context here, right? More of like, we tried to build a life together and then this happened, right? So there is that grief, that feeling of lost time or effort or youth, maybe for some, in that context of like, I spent my best years with that person, and now I'm brokenhearted and I don't really know how to move from this, and whether I want even to start something new with someone else. So yeah, the masculines actually see that there is grief on the feminine side, so they choose to take things slow. They choose to like tread lightly, and not to become another figure, another story to tell of like, oh, this masculines, right? The divine masculine doesn't want that to be that way. They want this to be special. They want to do the right thing, say the right thing with the best intentions. So that's part of what dictates that hermit experience of really focusing on what is this next phase of my life is like, right? Not based on, again, the circumstances and what the feminine expects or what you think the feminine expects, but really nailing like what is important for you at this point in life. How do you see this next phase? And then looking from that perspective of like, what is the place of the feminine here at this phase, right? And then the relevant communication will appear, and you'll be ready for that conversation or that next step. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time.